All right, about to start IG Live here. So I wanted to come on to IG Live as well as record this with a microphone in order to start something new, actually, that I'm interested in. I don't really know what to call it yet. I think it's going to be called something along the lines of Pit Stop or something like that. This is going to be a new segment within the podcast, completely unedited. It's going to be distributed as audio content through my podcast as well as presented here as an IG Live. I will also give this sort of breakdown via email as well. Mono Pusher, hello. Everybody else, CL Timeworks, Shaka, yeah. Hey guys, thanks for joining and jumping on. Just wanted to kind of bring something new and fresh to Standard H as far as content is concerned, as far as the podcast is concerned, especially. But yeah, this is basically just going to act as time for me to sort of take a minute from all the action, kind of reflect on what's been going on, as well as share my thoughts, things I've been checking out, things I've been inspired by, watches, cars, etc. It's literally just an unabashed view into everything else going on that isn't just so structured and planned and, hashtagged and all the rest of that stuff. A recent podcast guest, which I haven't released yet, coming up, was just talking to me about how I need to promote the podcast more and how my guests are sort of superseding even the reception of the content, which I sort of take as a compliment, very much so, because the guests on my show are incredible. So I would love for that audience to continue to grow. I was very candid in telling him that the podcast listenership has sort of plateaued. I was having a subsequent conversation with former guest Kyle Snar, who started Cantonment. What up, Kyle? Shout out. He and I had a very good catch-up session on the phone recently, and he encouraged me to do this, basically. And this is sort of a podcast that isn't a podcast, something that will last anywhere from... And again, this is completely unedited. It's completely uninhibited. It's not topical, really. It's just, it'll be 5 minutes maybe one day. It might be 30 minutes another. But the idea is to keep it around 10 to 15. So this is basically just my attempt to bring something new and fresh and also open the opportunity for questions on IG Live, for one, but two, really just to create kind of a different type of dialogue, which I thought could be interesting. So I'll start today with wrist check. Right now I've got the 41 millimeter blue dial pilot chronograph from IWC. You guys all know that I'm a huge IWC stan and big fanboy. Aaron, hello. Hope you're doing well, buddy. So that's the wrist check going on right now. On the topic of, watches, it's been a very busy, last week, for the industry. But more importantly, just the other day, I saw Mr. Enthusiast post not only a watch I never thought in a million years he would post on his stories, but it was the Audemars Piguet. I think he posted the 41 millimeter chronograph, the Royal Oak, by the way, Royal Oak chronograph. And I was like shocked because I've been on the hook and these keep coming into my life. And in fact, when I was interviewing a recent guest, he was wearing a vintage AP Royal Oak, and I think I even put it on my stories that day of like, my God, these things just keep coming up and into my life. So I feel like the world is trying to tell me something, that not only my obsession with the Royal Oak as of late is justified, but I just keep getting these reminders, which is just really interesting. But anyway, Mr. Enthusiast, Phil Toledano, also previous podcast guest. If you haven't heard it, it was fun. He posted the chronograph, and I definitely shot him a message immediately and was like, look, man, I just tried these on, both the chronograph and the time date Royal Oak. And my personal opinion, the 41 millimeter is amazing as a chronograph. I think the time only is way too much negative space, especially in that lower sort of hemisphere of the dial. If it's 10 past 10, there's just nothing from 9 to 3 down to 6. It's just open space, and it just way too big. Whereas you on the 37 millimeter, for example, which fits my wrist better, incidentally, I think is a much more cohesive, better ratio type of design. Obviously, the jumbo, extra thin 39 millimeter, I guess that becomes the conversation, right? Of the sweet spot between the two, the AP logo south of center, between there and 6 o'clock. I guess my hang up about the jumbo, even though it's, quote, perfect, is the fact that it is like $9,000 more than the 37 millimeter. And to me, all of them wear larger than they measure, in my opinion. Especially the 41. The 41 to me wears like a 43. Like it's drastically larger, I feel like. The 37 is a sweet spot for me. I love my 36 millimeter OP no date. So anyway, I was back and forth with Mr. Enthusiast about that, which was kind of fun. Watchers and Wonders obviously occurred. Big IWC fan, the way I've described previously. The Ingenieur, Tomato, I guess, came out, re-released. Love it. Absolutely love it. I keep staring at the crown guard, which I posted on my stories last night. I can't decide if it sticks out like a sore thumb. I guess Mono Pusher. Is it normal IWC Pilot Chrono 43 I'm wearing? No, it is a 41 millimeter. The perfect sweet spot for me. But yeah, so as far as the Ingenieur goes, the original design did not have a crown guard, and I thought it was really, really beautiful. Really, really great watch. In fact, when I was hunting a summer watch last summer, I really wanted a white dial, and I settled on a Mark 18, which many of you may already know. IWC calls it a silver dial, but it very much looks white. As far as like a summer watch is concerned, little known fact, I was actually looking at vintage Ingenieurs last summer in a white dial, but they were all just a little too clunky, a little too thick, a little too chunky. The hands on them were likewise chunky, kind of thick. Franco, what's up, buddy? Michael, thanks for joining. It wasn't perfect, so I ended up settling on not settling. I love my Mark 18. It was not settling, don't get me wrong. But now that this Ingenieur has come back out and it's available in that silver, white dial, I'm obsessed with it. The crown guard is the only thing that I've seen at angles and photos that may or may not bother me as somebody who's easily bothered by small details like that. But rumor has it it's amazing and perfect, and the size is great. 40 millimeter, I think, for a sport sort of summery, casual watch to wear in the water, etc., and travel. And it's sort of, under the radar a little bit. Like an IWC Ingenieur is not something like, a Rolex Pepsi or a Patek Nautilus to travel with and have a target on your back. So yeah, I can't wait to try that on. I think it's going to be incredible. Super excited about that. On the topic of worn and wound, I'm already jumping ahead to wind up San Francisco in my brain. But as far as the watches are concerned from Watches and Wonders, I'm kind of thinking Rolex is starting to become a troll with their OP release of all the different dial colors and variances from the previous variant. are they trolling us? Are they saying, okay, fine, you guys are going to fight over the color of these dials. I'm going to put all of the colors on this one dial. I was just kind of thinking that was hilarious. I don't know. I think it looks like a joke, personally, but that's just my opinion. Reaching forward to Wind Up, as I said, coming up the end of this month, so April 28th through the 30th, I will be in San Francisco with Worn & Wound's Wind Up Watch Fair once again. I've had amazing experiences showcasing the Standard H product, having a booth there, getting to know some of you clients and new clients, establishing, relationships with you guys, coming to check out the apparel and stuff. It's been an amazing experience, super fun. And I've got new blue t-shirts. I'm wearing the Avant long sleeve and have been for the better part of a couple of weeks, I would say. Really excited for these to come out. And again, so this video and this format and these things are also to talk about Standard H and the product the things that I'm working on. Because I can be far more descriptive in this format than I can in an email, because otherwise that email would be feeling like 100 pages. So the blue t-shirts, Avant long sleeve, Avant tee, obviously it'll come out in a Carrera tee as well. So that is a short sleeve, no pocket variant of these t-shirts. I will leave that information as the only specific information product related for Standard H. Otherwise, stay tuned for emails and notifications and posts for a couple other products I'm working on. I will give you the hint that they are military inspired. Super excited about a couple of those things. So those will be coming out and or showcased at Wind Up as well. Wind Up is free to attend. So if you've never been and you wonder if you need tickets or anything like that, no, just show up. It's all good. They make their money from us paying for our booths, so you guys don't have to pay, which is amazing for you guys, and great for us because it gives us a much broader audience, I think. And Lufka Colt 9. So if any of you are air-cooled Porsche fans, Lufka Colt 9 is happening in San Francisco in the Bay Area on Mare Island. Sadly, it's a little too far away from the city for me to be able to attend prior to needing to be manning my booth there at Wind Up. So unfortunately, I'm going to miss it. It is the first time Luft is having a 2-day event as opposed to 1 day. That event will be Saturday, Sunday, so 29th and 30th. Saturday is air-cooled only, whereas Sunday is water-cooled, if you will. Liquid-cooled, as Jerry Seinfeld likes to say, because it's not actually water. So yeah, that'll have whatever you want. I mean, I think Taycans will be there. The Panameras, like pretty much any Porsche will be there Sunday, I think. Whereas it's just the air-cooled variant's going to be there on Saturday, which I think is cool. It's a great way to grow that sort of meetup and event. I think it sounds really fun. Unfortunately, too far away for me to hit that up. Going forward as well with some other housekeeping stuff for Standard H, I'm going to be sending out a feedback email requesting feedback from any of you who have ever shopped, bought product, anything. All of you guys specifically, no one else, will be receiving an email asking for very open-ended feedback. Good, bad, indifferent, what you love, what you hate, what you'd like to see, what colors are missing. Anything like that is going to be emailed to you guys. And in exchange, you'll be getting a specific discount code for your participation. And it'll be one of the larger discount codes I've ever offered. So again, that email will be sent to only those who've previously made purchases. I am very lucky to have a very loyal client base, and I can't thank you guys enough for the support, the repeat business especially. It's just been really overwhelming to see and humbling to say the least. Really, really can't thank you enough. If you like this format, please let me know. If you don't like this format, please let me know. If this was a waste of your time, please let me know. DM me, email me, reply, etc., etc., etc. If you like this kind of thing, I'll keep doing it as sort of an interlude, a pit stop, if you will, on the Standard H podcast front. John, what's up, buddy? Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate that. So yeah, be on the lookout for this also as a podcast. It was 15 minutes and 40 seconds. So I'm going to stop here. Again, this is unedited. Really thank you for listening. Thank you for the time. And no commercials on this bad boy either. So that's cool. All right, till next time. I'm probably going to do this maybe once, maybe twice a month. It's just really easy to lay down and upload. So maybe I'll do this twice a month. So just let me know what you guys think. Thanks so much. Talk to you later.